Hi there, I'm Carla Ann, the car lady here at Highway Mazda in Steinbach, and today I want to go through the navigation system with you in your new Mazda. So we'll start off with looking at the Infotainment Center, learning how to find it, the different ways to do that, and there's lots of information, so this will be part one of several videos. All right, so let's get started. All right, there you have your Infotainment Center. Naturally, when you go to your home screen, this is where you will find it. Now, if you're not driving, you can always touch the navigation screen, or you can turn your button, your big knob here, you can turn that to the navigation, or you can touch the nav button there and it'll take you to this screen. So the first thing we're going to talk about today is the settings. So we're going to turn it all the way over to the navigation settings, and I'm going to click on that one. Okay, in map settings, there are different views. Now here's where you can see the different views. This is the 3D view, then you have your 2D, and then you have your 2D north. Now 2D north means that north will always be at the top of the screen. Now I'm just going to take you back to the main map for just a second, just so you can see the settings here as well. Now here you have a place where you can switch the screens. Now it says here 2D. That is not the screen that's showing right now. That is the next screen. So if you would want to choose 2D, this is where you'd click. So I'm going to select it. Now this is 2D. I'm going to click, actually that's a 2D north. Now this is this is now the 2D north, sorry. And then this is now the 3D. So if I want to go straight to 2D, again, I'm going to select here on 2D. It'll go to 2D. If I want 2D north, the little arrow, I'm not sure if you can see that. There's a little arrow right there on top of the 2D. That means it's 2D north. If you want to have that view, you click on that, and then you'll see that the north goes straight up to the top. And then the 3D is here. All right? So remember, the one that's lit up is not the screen you are in, but the next screen you can choose from. All right, let's go back to settings, because you can choose that in here as well. You can also choose to have an automatic zoom on or off. You can just click that to turn it on or off. The viewpoint, most people will have it on low, but if you want to see the difference, just click it over to medium and see how much more you can see up at the top. Click it to high and you can see a little bit more. Okay, that just means how close you are to the map. So when you're on high, you have a bit more map to see than you do on low. All right, now when it goes into highway overview, this one does show it, and I'm going to just click it again to turn it on. This gives you the option when you're driving, it'll show you the highways as they're coming into play. All right. Now, buildings, here we have all models. I'm going to click on this for a second. You can choose to have just landmarks, or just buildings, or all models. I like it set at all models, but this is completely customizable. You can set yours how you would like. Now, place markers. This one is a lot of fun. You can set it to show all the categories, but typically you're going to want to choose one or two things that you prefer to have in yours. Now, I'm kind of a coffee girl, so I would want to go in here to cafe, and you can choose that all cafes and bars would show up on the map, but I'm kind of a picky coffee drinker, so here's a clue for anyone. I would want to go down and I'd want to choose the ones that I like in particular. I love Caribou coffee, so I'm going to select that one. Let's see what else is out here that I love. I'm just going to quickly scroll through, and I'm going to scroll past the ones I don't love so much. I do like Gloria Jean's. Let's see what else is here. Mimi's Cafe, that's fantastic to all my Southern California friends. Pete's Coffee and Tea, one of my favorites. And of course, I can't forget Starbucks. And because I'm in Canada, Tim Hortons is a necessity. So is Timothy's. There we go. All right. I also love Williams Coffee Pub. There. So now when those cafes here. So I've got this selected. You'll see that there's only, whoops, I will go back to that. Sorry about that. you'll see that on those symbols, there's 3 gray ones and 1 blue one. That means that not all of them are selected, just some are selected. And that would be the ones that I showed you. Now you'll notice for airport that all of them are selected. That means currently that all airports and their accesses will show on the map. If you don't want the airports to show, you can just go here and click hide all access. So now you'll see airport has nothing written on it. Now in automotive dealers, you'll notice that the Mazda dealers are already selected for you in your new Mazda, and you can choose other dealers as well. Let's go back a bit. I want to go, there's fuel stations. You can choose if you're a specific kind of fuel purchaser, like if you only do Shell or you do Esso, you can go into here and you can choose those, or you can choose that it would show you all of the categories. So right now we have it at all. There's leisure. Leisure would be things like recreation centers, pools, parks, different kinds of cinema venues, plays, that kind of thing, theaters. Parking, if you ever are in a place where you need to look for parking, especially if you're downtown in a city, you need to find parking. This one's a fantastic one to choose. You can do open parking area and park and ride, parking garages, and rest areas if you're on a road trip. Now for shopping, this gives you some other options here, shopping center and wholesale trade, as well as just shopping. Now here you can choose different kinds. So food and drink, this is sort of where your groceries would be, and you can choose different kinds as well in here. So this is how you go in and customize the buildings that it's showing on your place markers on here. All right, so we're gonna go back to the previous screen and we're gonna go to guidance settings. So guidance volume, I'm gonna click on here, and as I turn the button up, you're gonna hear the guidance volume speak at the level that I'm setting it at.
Navigation will be at this volume.
And if I click it again, that sets it in. If I want it to be quieter, I can turn it down.
Navigation will be at this volume.
Now let me interrupt for just a second. You can do your volume adjustments that way, or you can also do it while you are listening to the lady talk. When the Mazda lady comes on and while she's speaking, so actually during the time that she's talking, if you adjust the volume up or down, that's another quick way to make the adjustment as well. Okay, let's get back to the screen. All right, so we have the highway exits right now are set to always show. And that's going to show on highways. Now what that's going to do is as you approach a road, when you're about half a mile or a quarter mile away from the upcoming cross street, the named street is going to show up on the top of your navigation screen, okay? And your signposts, those are going to show if you have it checked. Now if you don't want to see your signposts, you can check that and turn it off, all right? And then you can also show different views coming into a tunnel. Now let's talk about the warning settings. You can choose to have your alert points set for you. These alert points and speed cameras and warnings and warning signs, these are to warn you about stops or speed cameras to keep you from getting a ticket and those kinds of things. So what I'd like you to consider carefully here is with visual only, it will show up either on your navigation screen or in your windscreen if you have the active driving display or the heads-up display. So if you have this set at visual only, and there is something to alert you, or an alert point that you're being notified on, if you don't have it on your windscreen, and if you don't have it on your navigation screen, you might miss it. So you can choose if you want visual or audio and visual. Okay? Now speed cameras. If there's a speed camera coming, I would want it on audio and visual. Again, you can check it how you want. I don't want to risk a camera. Now warning for cameras. I would want to have a warning for camera always, but you can choose to have it only warn you when you are speeding. And then warning signs will be on because I have checked it here. All right, now for route settings, you go into here and you can choose. Now, depending on where you live, right now I am in Steinbach, Manitoba, so there are a few things here that we can uncheck. For example, we don't really have charge roads here, so we can take that off. And we don't have toll roads here. We can take that off. We certainly don't have ferries anywhere here. Now, we do have a lot of unpaved roads. So we're going to check unpaved roads because I would need to have those to get to where we're going most of the time. All right, so you can set all of that in there. Your traffic settings, in here you can, if you're in a vehicle that is equipped with Sirius, this is where you can also connect with or turn on your Traffic Plus, and you can choose the kind of detours that it is going to offer you here. So if we go in here, we can check the detour, and we can auto accept the detour, and we can figure out, we can choose and customize how time sensitive we want that detour to be. All right, now let's head on back to our navigation settings. We have gone through all of these, so now we've had a basic understanding of how to set up the navigation system to get going. I hope that was helpful. That will get your navigation system set and ready. There's one way to hook up or to get to the navigation screen that I didn't tell you about. I'll tell you about that quickly, and then we'll have to say goodbye until our next video. All right? So if you take a look at your steering wheel, on the left-hand side by your left thumb, there will be a little talking man voice. That's the voice activation button. This is what it looks like. There it is, the little talking man face. All right? So that is in the middle. It's sort of like you press in the middle. You can choose up, you can choose down, or you can choose in the middle. And that is the voice activation button for navigation. So I'm going to have it on this screen here. That's on the home screen. I'm going to press the button here. The lady is going to come on and talk. She's going to say, please say a command. There's going to be a short break, and then she's going to beep. After the beep, I will say navigation, and you'll see the screen change to the navigation.
Say a command.
Navigation.
Say a command.
So it automatically takes me to the navigation screen. All right? Thanks so much for watching. I know it's a bit of a long video, but take care, and I'll be posting a few more navigation tutorials in the next little while. Thanks very much. Don't forget to contact me, Carla and the Car Lady, at Highway Mazda in Steinbach, 204-326-6437, if you have any questions at all. Take care.